Today guys, I'm going to show you how to wrap this rear bumper. We've already had this car in for a couple of days. We've washed it, we've got it on the ramp, and we've started stripping it. I'm going to show you the process of clay barring it, because that's a vital stage, and then we'll alcohol it, and then we'll get onto the wrapping. This is basically to get rid of the contaminants in the paintwork after washing. It's quite vital, otherwise they all show through the wrap, or they might not, but it's better not to take that chance. So as you can see here, this was a brand new bit of clay. That's why we do it, because that's after a wash and it's still in the paintwork. Now I would always like turn it, almost fold it, make sure it's always new, and then you've got no worries of scratching the car unnecessarily. The next stage after the clay bar is to alcohol wipe it. Now not all wrappers will use alcohol. This is isopropanol. Some people will use Avery cleaner or the wrap's recommended cleaners, but in my opinion isopropanol works the best. It just takes all waxes off, anything like that. Gives the best finish. Carl, have you seen tape measure anywhere? I hate it when he wears his headphones. Waste of time. So obviously you want to measure the bumper, see what you need. Now usually the vinyl comes as 1.5 meters wide, and most bumpers you can fit 2 bumpers within that width. Cut it out at 760 by the length of the bumper, and you're 9 times out of 10 be correct. We'll double check anyway, just in case, because we don't want to be wasting that much material. So highest point, lowest point, so you want to go, so yeah, 760 is plenty. And now we'll just measure the width, the length of it. We're at 2.7, and the back bumper is actually longer than the front. So if we cut 2.7, that gives us enough for the front and the back. Perfect amount on there, it's not really worth cutting any off of this roll. Okay, now this is generally where you need a second pair of hands. You can do it on your own, it's very difficult unless you're experienced, and even then it's still difficult. It's easier if you've got a second pair of hands. You peel your side off, yeah, and then pass it to me, and I'll peel it all the way back. Just don't let it touch itself or you. Right, now you go round, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Line it up roughly, hold it straight, like flat straight. Yeah. And then just place it on. Are you covered?
Yeah, I've got loads of room.
Yeah, just let that just attach it all. So as you can see, we've just loosely placed the vinyl on the bumper. Now I'm going to get Lou's help to actually help me lay it properly. What I do is I start in the middle, I'll squeegee that so it's attached, and then I'll use heat and I'll work my way around. Now this bumper has more going under it than it does over the top, so generally as you come round, if you lay it lower and as you come round you pull it upwards slightly, that will give you more of the stretch along the bottom, and it'll help you shrink it back into the shape of the bottom down there. And yeah, I'll just show you now. Right, if you grab that end and pull it all the way back to the middle here. Right, so if you keep it tight, keep it away from the body. And then what I'll do is I'll slowly start heating it. Keep it a bit tight. As you can see, the ripples start disappearing. Yep. Don't want to get it too hot because you burn a hole through it. And then we'll first of all lay that first bit, give it a bit of a pull round, and we'll stop there. And that'll give us that initial bit of stretch just down there. As you pull it that way, yeah, start slowly pulling it up, but not load. You don't want loads because you don't want to add it all there, but just a little bit. And this is quite a tight corner, so quite a bit of pull round here, and then I'll help. That's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, that actually goes like that. And then we'll come back to just there. Always heat top to bottom because it will hold tension right at the edges so it won't let you stretch. And now that should be our final. Give it a good old pull. And then I'll just attach it just to there. Now that gives us that side laid. And now I'll quickly just squeegee what I need to. So as I said earlier about pulling it up slightly to give you a bit of stretch here, because it goes under quite a lot, this is why. And it'll shrink back and it'll give you a nice, if I pull that back off, give you a nice shape to go underneath. And I'm not pulling it, I'm not stretching it, I'm just laying it. And that technique just allows you to get underneath without bunching up. If you started pulling down, you'll add loads of vinyl and then you'll start bunching it up down here, whereas this should all just shrink out of it and then you're not left with a bunch up of vinyl, and it allows you to go all the way underneath. Pebble dash, look, from stones. And ideally, if you can stay away from stretching it around the edges, if you put any stretch anywhere, try and keep it away from the edges. That way your wrap will actually last. When you've got a soft recess like this has just along here, rather than squeegeeing it like that and putting lines every stroke, you're better off going for the deepest, giving it a bit of a heat, just get it warm, get a glove or your sleeve and just go for the deepest part of the recess and just push it in like that, and then you'll be left with absolutely no lines, no glue lines, no stretch lines, no squeegee lines. It's nice and soft. Now I'm using my squeegee just to push it straight into the deepest part. Same concept as a soft recess down there, except this is a bit harder. You want to try and get it in the deepest point first. It's annoying, I hate these Porsches. I couldn't go like that the first time round. Now usually in number plate recesses or something like this, I would put an insert on that edge in there before I wrap, but a lot of the time it's hard to judge because it's such a sharp recess that you end up cutting it wrong or something like that, and then end up having to peel the recess off and then redo it anyway. So in this case I've laid the bumper first, I'm going to trim that out and then lay the infill afterwards. Oh yeah, I forgot. On most cars we remove the diffuser, or we remove as much as we can. This bumper we've had it off the car already, we've stripped it down. The only thing we didn't remove was the diffuser because we wouldn't actually get a better job in the 40 minutes, 30 minutes that it would take us to remove it, because there's a big enough gap in here for us to get it all the way in and not notice. So sometimes you weigh up the options, you either save yourself 40 minutes and do the same job as if you don't remove it at all. I'll show you here what I mean. So there's a big enough gap here, I'm able to just squeegee the vinyl straight into it, and then I'll be able to make a nice trim along here and then push the remainder in, and that way you won't see any white. You get just as good a job as if you were to remove the diffuser. Sometimes with cars, the diffusers are so tight against the bodywork that there's no option, you have to remove them, because you don't, nothing worse than on a satin black wrap, like a white line or something like that. That's not what you want. And that's around the diffuser done.
Always go in as far as you can.
Yeah, always try and go in deep. The further you go in, the longer it lasts. In this case. So the light actually comes to probably here, but if you can go further in, always do that, because it will last longer and it won't peel back and expose the paintwork behind it. With the corners of bumpers, wings, quarters, anything, just corners in general, if you just try and pull it round, you'll generally end up with a crease that will never go. So if you can pull it back slightly, don't heat it along the line that you've pulled it back to, because you get a line. Always trying to heat it around the area you think is going to end up on the corner. And then what we do here is we just stretch that area, and then as we get back to it, we shrink it back, and then it goes to the shape of the corner. And then that way you've shrunk it again, you've shrunk it on an edge rather than stretched it on an edge. Because if you stretch it, all that would want to do is peel back. They'll write books about me. Once upon a time in 2023, there was this guy on YouTube called That Rap Guy. And that's as much as the book goes, really, because I don't really know what else they'll say, if I'm honest. I never wrote the book.
There was a guy, he was a rap guy, and started blogging and then became famous with CLS3.
Who's that guy?
That's Trade Up Guy.
No, I don't know him.
What am I doing? I've got no Cut!
You don't know Trade Up Guy?
No.
Ah, he's not famous enough yet.
No, I've not subscribed to his YouTube channel either.
He's going to be upset about that.
So the final vital stage of wrapping a bumper, especially something curved like this, or when you've got vans with deep recesses and stuff like that, post-heating is critical. It's very important. And now this is Avery Dennisson film. They recommend between 80 and 90 degrees Celsius, which is 175 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. Get yourself one of these. This tells you the temperature as you're heating it. Just get it between those temperatures, and that would reset the memory of the vinyl, which will stop it from lifting and failing in the future.
Nah, because I just want to laugh.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I've helped you today with wrapping this bumper and one of your projects you've got going on yourself. If you have any more suggestions or want any more answers for some questions you might have, please leave a comment in the box below. And if you could subscribe, that'd be great, and I'll see you on the next one.